Dare to climb boldly, brave that I peak. You'll never know failure if bravely you seek. Hi everyone, and welcome to another video on Vocal Bliss. Today I would like to talk about a very important topic, which is how to be a charismatic singer. How to really touch people's hearts when you sing. It's one thing to develop the voice, and this is what we've been talking a lot about in other videos, what you can do technically to develop your instrument and make it sound as best as possible. But there's another, I would call it almost X factor about singing, which is that particular thing that makes a singer really inspiring. You know, sometimes you go and listen to a singer and maybe they're really good. They have great mastery over their sound, they have gorgeous voices, they're able to do amazing things. And yet, when you come out, when the concert is over, you come out, you realize you kind of feel a little empty, like it didn't really give you much on a deeper level. And this is what I want to talk about. I want to talk about what it is that makes a singer a really inspiring singer. Somebody who can sing and convey to an audience something that is intangible and that is uplifting, that can actually change people's lives, even in just one song. Sometimes you listen to singers who are so inspiring in what they convey through their voice that you go home after a concert and you feel uplifted. So it has not so much to do with technique, although, you know, a beautiful sound, a beautiful, a trained voice makes the experience more pleasant. But what I'm talking about here goes beyond that, and it's more on the level of consciousness. It really has a lot to do with what kind of person basically that particular singer is. So first of all, I just want to talk about a little bit what it is to not be inspiring and to not be uplifting. So the world of music, the world of performance is unfortunately very much connected with ego. There is a lot of ego going on in the world of music, in the world of performance, because a lot of it has to do with achieving something. You know, a musician, a singer has to practice and slowly achieve a certain level of performance, and that often comes with a huge amount of really ego consciousness. You become more and more aware that, oh gosh, I sound terrific, I'm so great, you know, people are gonna love me, they're just gonna totally be blown away by my gorgeous voice. And you know, a certain dosage of self-confidence is good, but when that's all you can give to your audience, you're not doing a very good job as a performer. As a matter of fact, when you sing in front of people, most people who listen to you, unless it's a very selected crowd, don't really understand much in terms of technique. So maybe they understand that, oh, he hit that super high note well, and this is all great. But beyond that, there's a lot of things that the common listener doesn't really get. And maybe you put so much work into doing something that to you is like a great achievement, and for people it's like, oh, okay, oh, you did that, really? Oh, I didn't even notice, you know. But there is one thing that virtually everybody in the room, in your audience, will perceive if you have it. And that is the ability to convey inspiration. The ability to sing a song or even a phrase in such a way that people are deeply touched. And this is what, in my opinion, it is what music is all about. You know, music is not about showing people how great of a voice we have, how wonderful performers we are, what an incredible personality we have. That's really all just crap. Sorry, I had to say it. And what really we're here to do as performers is to provide an experience and something that is actually greater than the people who hear it. Something transforms us and touches us deeply when it's greater than us. And what is greater than us? Not certainly the ego of the singer. It has to be something more than that. In fact, the best performances usually are the ones where the performers are able to put their ego aside as much as possible and allow inspiration to flow. And how do you do that? This is something that I've been practicing and studying and meditating on a lot for several years now, since I started singing what we call Ananda music, which is a genre of music that is written with the sole purpose of inspiring people. There's a lot of very beautiful, positive music out there, but I really resonate with this one, and this is what I've been doing for the last, maybe 15 years. And so what I do when I perform this music is, I practice, I practice my song, I do the things that I need to do technically to make it sound as beautiful as I possibly can with what I'm able to do. But then, right before the performance, I really try to get away from the thought that, oh, this sounds so wonderful, oh, it's so amazing, people will love it. I just to get away from that, and I try to actually tune into what the essence of this music is. And this is what I want to give people. And I notice that when I do that, sometimes people come up to me after a performance and they relate an experience they had listening to my song that is way beyond what I, as an ego, could have possibly conveyed. It's something so much greater and so much deeper that there is no way I could have been the one giving it. It had to be something that flew through me. And I've seen this over and over again, and I have no doubt in my mind that it is possible to tune into the highest part of ourselves, the highest part of our nature, and we can call it God, we can call it our own soul, we can call it whatever we want, but it's something that goes beyond the everyday experience of what we experience every day in our lives. And it goes beyond that, and it taps deeply into something that is our most sacred and innermost nature. And when you can do that, but mind you, you can do that only if you try to really set the ego aside and humbly open up as a channel for that. It's right there for everyone to express. It just have to be invited, and you just have to gradually tune into it more and more. But I tell you, singing is an amazing experience of deep joy, thrill after thrill of incredible joy when you sing, knowing that something greater than you is flowing through you and is reaching the hearts of people who listen. I thought that this experience was just for some selected people, particularly receptive people. It's not true. I spent 3 years living in Los Angeles, and with my quartet of singers, we would sometimes go and perform in places where people are absolutely not necessarily what you would call spiritual or sensitive, but it was amazing how simple songs that convey joy, that are performed with this kind of consciousness, how so many people were deeply touched by them. After every performance, we had somebody come up to us and say something like, "You have brought so much joy into this place." And this place was not, it wasn't really a bar, but it was kind of a cafe where they were doing open mic nights, and we would go there and perform sometimes. But all this to say that there is an element in music that people are really hungry for, and I would almost really say people really need right now, especially, you know, something that can uplift people's hearts, people's minds to a higher plane where there is less worry, less fear, less all the negative emotions that we often have to deal with every day. And there's a level of peace and contentment and joy, really, that can be experienced. Music has that power. It really does. It's just up to us as performers, as singers, to do the right things when we sing, to open up to this higher power and let it flow. When we do that, there is no limit to what a song can do for people. One song, 3 minutes, can be enough for people to experience something very, very deep. And why is it that deep? Because it's not you. Because it doesn't come from your ego, it comes from a higher place. So this is my first video talking about this, but this is a subject that is very, very dear to my heart because I very deeply believe in it, and I have really dedicated my whole life to pursuing this as a musician and really doing my best to give the people I sing for something that can be really a transformative experience. So in the next few videos that I will do around this topic, I would like to share a few of the things that I do, practical things that I do to do that when I sing, and I hope you will find them helpful and they will inspire you to do something similar, if not the same, because there are, I'm sure, many ways to do this, and I'm sure that I'm not talking about anything that is a discovery that I made. I'm sure a lot of musicians do that, and you can tell. You know, when when a singer sings, and afterwards you go home and you feel like, wow, that really did something. And the next day, maybe you're still feeling like that. That was not his technique. That was not what he was able to do with his voice. That was what he was able to transmit, to convey on a subtler level from heart to heart. That is what a true singer, in my opinion, is supposed to do. So, more in the next few videos.